Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time, mostly because I was away for most of August, and I did sort of think I was going to do some filming about holiday makeup and skincare, but somehow it didn't happen. And of course, since being back, it's been all go. So I've got a lot of products that I've bought over the summer or used over the summer, rediscovered in my collection, that I'd quite like to talk about. Some have been a success, some, like the one in front of you, not really so much. So I thought I'd start with this one because it's a really gloomy day here in London. It's been gloomy and terrible rain for the past 48 hours or so. The light is terrible. This is about as bright as it gets, but I wanted to show this palette really before I let it go. It's by TooFaced, and I think it was out quite early in the summer, and it's a big palette, and I kind of have a love-hate relationship with big palettes. When they're really beautifully presented like this one, then I really kind of lust after them, which is ironic given the name of this one. But I know they're quite awkward to use because my makeup is usually applied, unlike most of the YouTube beauty gurus who seem to have endless time to apply their makeup every morning. You know, I'm getting up at 5 in the morning, and I'm lucky if I spend 7 minutes flat on my makeup and skincare. So I go for simplicity, and I really like small palettes, you know, maximum 4 colours that are going to give me a bit of definition, a bit of depth, a bit of sparkle maybe, and that's it. I don't want to be faced with too many choices, but I do love the way these big palettes look. So I saw this one advertised, and although it's a cardboard, you know, glorified cardboard palette, it's a really, really pretty presentation, very romantic, almost baroque, with the peacocks and so forth. And then inside, so many colours. And I thought, because there are quite a few quite neutral mattes in here, as well as the very dramatic ones, and some sparkle, that I would really like it. And they're quite small colours, so by that I mean each pan, you're not going to be kind of overwhelmed by using all that. But I don't know, I have tried them a few times. They're not terrible consistency, they're quite good, but they're absolutely not Tom Ford, Chanel type quality. You know, so if I rub that one there, beautiful kind of very neutral shade, you really have to get stuck in to get any colour payoff, and there isn't so much there, as you can see. I did find that with a brush they may be applied a bit better, and some were better than others, so that's quite a nice brightening inner eye shade there. The satins or sparkles were a very mixed bag. I was very hopeful about this beautiful peacock blue up in the corner, but when you put it on, I mean, there is a bit of kind of blue payoff, but somehow on the eye it just looked a bit muddy. Some of the best shades were the slightly sparkly bronzes. So that one, for example, is a really good colour payoff. Very smooth, nice autumn shade with a tiny bit of sparkle but no fallout. That one is called Such a Tease, and I would say that's one of the best consistencies in this palette that I've used. You can see that I've dug into this one down here, Too Good, quite a lot, because that's the kind of mid-brown, slightly glittery taupe gold that I like, kind of a rose gold really. That was very pretty. So I'm not going to swatch them all really, because it would take forever. I haven't got enough arm, and a lot of the colours are quite similar to each other. I should show you that one as well, Embrace Me, because I use that quite a lot. Feels quite soft. It's a nice shade, but you can see the kind of powdery texture, which isn't great. You know, these are cheaper shadows. There's no getting away from it. Shall we just look at Pin Down? Very, very dry up in this top corner, but you can see very bold colour. I mean, I'm not going to wear that, to be honest. It's a bit of a clown shade, and you can again see the kind of powder and fallout. What I found about these shadows is some of them did apply nicely with a brush, and I got good definition as I did my eye makeup. What I found was it wasn't so much that they didn't last, they didn't, you know, particularly crease badly on a relatively ordinary day, but if I'd used more than one, they kind of all blended together in a kind of muddy mix by the end of the day. And I find increasingly that that's one of the real differences between cheaper eyeshadows. I shouldn't say cheaper, should I? People say on YouTube better value, but they're cheaper. And that's not to say you can't get reasonable quality, you can, but the more expensive makeup ranges, eyeshadows, generally, and it's, you know, there are exceptions to the rule, as well as the beautiful presentation, you get a longevity in the colour definition. And by that I mean not only does the shadow stay on your lid without creasing too much, but it stays in the way you've put it on, and sometimes even starts to look better. I was thinking about that with one of the Tom Ford quads I've been using recently. I should remember which one it is. It's the something orchid. I'll look it up and put it below. They're very ordinary looking shades in the palette, and they look quite pretty when you put them on, but almost as you wear it over the day you get a better glow, a better luminosity from the shadow, which I really like. So that all sounds quite intense and poetic, doesn't it? And a justification for spending ridiculous amounts of money on eyeshadows. I can't remember how much I paid for this palette. It's a great deal more than they're going for now on Amazon and eBay, because I looked the other day and I think you can get one of these for about $7.99 now. For $7.99, this is a fantastic palette. I think I paid about £40 for it when it came out. Not such a great palette for that price, but very, very pretty. I will say there are quite, although I bought it in early summer, there are quite a lot of really autumnal colours in here. And some of the shades work really well. So, you know, definitely that's Such a Tease down there is a really nice eyeshadow, and you get a lot of use out of it in the autumn. So if you want a pretty bargain, I do suggest looking on eBay at the moment, because you can get this palette there now. But it's not going to make my long-term collection as something I would really recommend. So there we are with TooFaced Natural Lust. Can you see in the background? I'll just show you before I sign off this one and turn to something else. Talking of eBay, you know my passion for collecting Chanel nail polishes. This is a collection from quite a few years ago. I think it was called the LA collection, and I missed out on it completely. So 4 polishes: LA Sunset, Melrose, LA Sunrise. Should put those together really. Melrose and Rodeo Drive. And I saw them being sold as a set, and it wasn't too much for them either. So I was very, very thrilled. I'm always on the lookout for those limited edition collections that I missed years ago before I started collecting. The Russian Nights one is one I am always on the lookout for. It doesn't come out, or I haven't seen it at a reasonable price. I will say, having I haven't tried I've tried all of them. I haven't worn all of them as a manicure. The colours are not spectacularly different from others in the Chanel collection. Melrose is just like May. LA Sunset, very like collection which came out either last year in spring, summer, or the year before. Coquillage, and those ones may not have been Coquillage, but it's a very similar one. LA Sunrise is like one of the yellows they brought out before. The most original of these, I think, is this one, Rodeo Drive, which is a very pretty, slightly pearlized lilac. I haven't worn it as a full manicure yet because it's a bit startling to wear when I'm at work, but I intend to soon, and I'll let you know how it lasts. But just a pretty little bonus from eBay. So until next time, good to be back. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.